Good morning, Oracles. So we had yet another green day yesterday. We came close to closing over $1,100. We started the morning pre-market up to $11.14. It was looking like we were going to fire off another great day. Then we came down, bounced back up, and we held nicely around $1,100 for the majority of the day. Great bullish sign, especially after the huge run-up that we had on Monday with the announcement of the stock split news that we had. So it looks like $1,100 is now our new battleground that we're fighting for to see if we're going to break out over $1,100 or if we are going to fall back. So as we discussed yesterday, usually a third bounce around $1,100 is going to determine which way we go. So because we started the day over $1,100 and then came down under and kind of leveled off at it, we're now at that breaking point. So let's see how we trade from here. So today I would love to see us close over $1,100. If we do not, as long as we're still in the vicinity and trading flat today, I think that'd be fine. And I would like to see us close over $1,100 by the end of the week. If we're over $1,100 by Friday, going into the weekend with production and delivery information coming out, I think we will look for a huge run going into next week and might get an even larger gap up on Monday morning, potentially putting us close to $1,200 and then maybe all-time highs. And now if we do not break $1,100 by the end of the week and close over $1,100, don't be alarmed. I still think the news that comes out this weekend with production and delivery numbers are going to rocket us forward even more either way. Unless something major comes out in the macro environment that causes everything to fall down, I think we are going to see a very nice Monday morning coming up. So how nice that Monday morning is going to be will kind of be determined how we trade for the rest of this week as well. Now, some news that we had gotten recently is Washington State has announced and passed a law that by 2030, the sales of gas vehicles in that state will be illegal. So this is a great starting point. They're the first state who has done this, which surprises me. I'm actually surprised California hasn't done this. But this is a great sign because currently we're in a state in this country where, Tesla's not even allowed to be sold in certain states. And it's all because of the corruption behind, the dealership laws that they have, because we need to favor the dealerships. And if you don't have a dealership, you can't sell vehicles. And because Tesla doesn't have actual dealerships, it doesn't work in many states. So it's nice to see that some states now are putting it out there saying, hey, you know what? We are going to put the environment ahead of the money and the corruption. So it's nice to see this. And I have no doubt that there's going to be more states that are going to follow suit as well. So we're going to end up seeing this flip where right now Tesla's not allowed to be sold in some states. And in the future, gas vehicles are not going to be allowed to be sold in some states. And while, yes, this is not until the future, almost 10 years out, it's still a great bullish sign and the sentiment that we can see in the trends that are going towards EVs. And one of the things that many bears bring up is the fact that there's competition that's out there. Well, that's great, but currently right now, the competition, for the most part, is all still producing gas vehicles, which are going to eventually become illegal to purchase in some states. So do you really think that those legacy automotive makers are going to be a huge competition for Tesla? They've really got to ramp up their EV production over the next 8 years to be able to catch up to Tesla. Tesla's been doing it for a decade now. These legacy automotive makers have been doing it for maybe a year in best case scenario. So yeah, they've got a long way to go to catch up to hit that point where they are going to be producing enough EVs to be able to, compete actually with Tesla by the time they're not even allowed to be selling their ICE vehicles anymore. And in some other news that got overshadowed a little bit by the stock split news that we had gotten on Monday is the Shanghai factory is closed until Friday at the earliest because of COVID. And yes, this is going to hamper production. This is going to affect numbers. It is still only the near-term future that it's going to be affecting for Tesla. So long term, still going to be perfectly fine, no issues whatsoever. So it's near term issues that are going to be affected by this. I'm not too concerned about it, but it is still something that's on the radar because, that's around like 15 to 20,000 vehicles worth of production that are not going to be coming out of Shanghai. So that could be swaying numbers a little bit when it comes to the Q4 production and delivery numbers. Again, those are going to most likely be coming out on Saturday. And so this last 3 days of production where they could have had this nice push to end the quarter is not going to happen. And so between these few days now and the day and a half to 2 days that they closed down previously due to COVID, looking at the numbers for projections for production and delivery, I was around 325,000 to 330,000. I had 327,000 projected for deliveries specifically. So we'll see how this plays out. I still have faith that they're going to do well, but those numbers may come down due to the production being dropped. But now don't forget, when it comes to deliveries, Tesla was actually inventory heavier over the first 2 months. Last numbers I saw, and correct me if I'm wrong, looked like they were heavy on inventory, about 8 to 10,000 vehicles. So that might be able to offset the production downtime that they have due to the COVID that's going on over there. And so now if this is the case, production numbers may come in between 310,000 to 315,000 based on my projections, but deliveries might still come in around 325. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out at the end of the quarter. Again, we should be finding out these numbers on Tuesday. Let me know your thoughts in the comments as to how you think this shutdown of the Shanghai factory is going to be affecting the production and delivery numbers. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all of the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades. Thank you so much. Have a great one.